Hey everyone, what is going on? Welcome to the next set of Pokemon Shuffle videos. We have week 2 repeating again, of course, and we're doing, I believe, what, 7, 8 stages, something like that, 7 stages. So yeah, we're just gonna jump right into it. I'm trying to do the stages with weaker teams, as I've mentioned in the past, since they are rotating. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to keep that up forever, because some of the stages are gonna be really difficult, and I don't have the coins, because I don't grind for coins. I don't farm stages anymore. I play it on a casual note just because we've been through all these stages, so it's going to be more casual. I'm going to be competitive with Pokemon Go. I did order a microphone for my Pokemon Go videos, which is coming tomorrow, so for EV Day I should have better videos compared to the last one, but a lot of you seemed to like the last one, so I really do appreciate that that you watched it, but the quality can only improve from here on out, right? So anyway, jumping into this video, we have Regigigas, and this is an Ultra Challenge. I would recommend bringing the 3 Regis if you have them. If you don't have them, this is going to be a tough stage because you definitely don't need the Regis. You could actually go in with Hitmonlee, which would be a better option in my opinion to shut out all these Regis. So that would be a really good way to go. But if you don't have all these Regis, you're probably not going to have a maxed out Hitmonlee, because that's like more towards like endgame players, if you get what I'm saying. So it could be tough. I am going with Lucario just because it is an early mega, so it's one that you probably have. Again, there's better options. A Rock Eater, you guys know all the good options. A Rock Eater would be good, like Shiny Mega Deontay, you know, things like that. Even a Tapper, if you have a Tapper like Shiny Mega Charizard X fully maxed out, always a good way to go. But again, I wanted to use an early game Mega. I am going in with Regigigas, of course, and I didn't skill swap any of them besides Regirock. Now, the Regirock does have a maxed out Last Ditch Effort, but I deliberately did not activate Last Ditch Effort, even though I would have won a lot easier, because I did come down to like the last move or whatnot. So if you have the Last Ditch Effort maxed out, definitely a good way to go. But I did want to show you that you can technically do it without activating Last Ditch Effort, of course, if you're going in with the Regi team. So, yeah, so Regi team is good just because a lot of Regis are on the board and fall down from the sky, fall and whatnot, so it does make the stage quite a bit easier with if you don't have like a shot out Pokemon. Yeah. But you might feel like you need to invest some items if you don't have the Regis or like shot out things. It really depends which way you want to go, but I don't want to invest any items in this one. For endgame players, Regigigas does have a shot out if you want to go ahead and skill swap it, so that's definitely, you know, not a bad way to go. It does get up to a lot of attack power. I believe it's 150 if I'm not mistaken, so definitely high attack power if you fully max it out, if you go all the way. It is a normal type, so, I mean, it's probably one not worth investing in, just because even if you have like maxed out Hitmonlee, maxed out Buzzwole, whatever, it's still going to take a while to beat the stage each time. It's just going to get repetitive in my opinion. So I personally wouldn't farm it. I don't think it's worth it, but the option is available. And as you can see, I did have the 4 match of Regirock, but deliberately not going for it just because I did not want to activate Last Ditch Effort to show you that it is possible, basically. I know you know it's possible, but either way, we do go ahead and take out Regigigas, so that's cool. We actually did get a gift, but I didn't even skill swap Regigigas, so I will not be farming it. As I already mentioned, I'm not farming stages anymore, but going on to Meganium now, I am going in with a fire team. I do have the Torchic with Pyre just because most people probably have Torchic at this point. In fact, I know all of you have Torchic, so it is a very early stage Pokemon, so you can go in with Torchic. You don't need that Ho-Oh. You don't need that Delphox maxed out. You could do it with Torchic. I didn't mean to activate Unity Power, but unfortunately I did. But I don't think I needed that Unity Power during this match anyway. But yeah, I was trying not to activate Unity Power. Just activate maybe Power 4 Plus or Pyre. I wasn't activating Burn Plus deliberately, so the Ninetales is just there just because it is an early stage Pokemon. So even if yours says Block Smash, that would actually be better than what I was doing because I wasn't even activating Burn Plus, if that makes sense. So yeah, even if you have Block Smash or whatnot on Ninetales, you can still handle the stage. You know, all these Pokemon, or at least most of these Pokemon, do have fully invested, maxed out raise max levels. There's nothing I can do about that because I invested in them. So it's like I can't like take off the raise max levels or whatnot. So it's going to be more difficult, of course, if you don't have like raise max levels in some of these Pokemon, or you don't have these endgame teams. Of course, you might want to consider some items. You could always try my team or a similar team if you don't have it or whatnot. Mega Charizard Y is an early Mega, so that's why I also went with that one. We did beat it with a comfortable amount of moves left, so that's always good. Of course, these videos are going to be longer now because we're not using the endgame team. So again, I might not stick to this formula. I'm not too sure. We'll have to see, but I do want to show you guys that it is possible, or at least what teams it is possible to beat it with and whatnot. So, you know, so you could try some teams if you're an earlier game player, because I'm not sure how many end game players are actually watching the content now since the game repeated. Let me know if you're an end game player and you're still watching the content. I know some of you are. I don't know if everybody is. I don't know who left or whatnot, or who still plays. I still play just for the videos. If it wasn't for the videos, honestly, I probably wouldn't, just because I'm not farming stages anymore. I still have a love for Shuffle, of course, but yeah, I guess it's just different just because there's no new stages, you know, it's just repeats. But either way, we do go ahead and knock out Meganium. And you can farm that for Block Shot if you skill swap it. An excellent way to go. So we're moving on to Ho-Oh. I expected this one to be actually more difficult for some reason. I was thinking it was an Ultra Challenge. It's not. I don't know why I thought that. Now, I do have Tapu Fini. That's not an early Pokemon. However, Tapu Fini, my Tapu Fini, does not have Typeless Combo. It only has Barrier Bash ++, which helped because there's a bunch of barriers, but it's not like an OP ability, and neither is Suicune with Block Smash Plus, although it still is good. So, two early stage Pokemon. You do need the Skill Swapper if you want to go in with Suicune with Block Smash Plus, so you could, maybe it's not the best way to go. I don't know. Well, not saying it's definitely not the best way to go, but maybe it's not. Maybe if you might not have it. Basically, is what I'm trying to say. If you don't have it, if you are an earlier game player, that's basically what I'm trying to say. Anyway, we do have the Poliwrath for Big Wave. That's another skill swapper. But again, there's Mudkip with Big Wave. I actually should have went that route, I guess. Well, that still needs a skill swapper, so never mind. Forget what I'm saying. Big Wave not necessarily needed. I think I used Block Smash Plus and Barrier Bash Plus and Block Smash Plus more on the stage than I did Big Wave. And Mega Gyarados, that is an event. I'm not sure if I actually mentioned that during the stage already, but it is an event. However, it's not the greatest Mega in the world, so you can get away with using a different Mega that has a similar effect, or even a different effect, a Tapper, you know, an early game Tapper, if there is one. I mean, Mega Camerupt has been an event, so if you do have that, that's definitely a good way to go. I know it's not really early, but it is super effective against this, so that would actually be better than Mega Gyarados. Mega Gyarados is super effective as well, but you know, the effect is not the best effect in the world, basically. So maybe not the earliest team possible. So some of these you might not have, some of these you might have. I don't know, but yeah, if you don't have the Tapu Fini, you don't need the Barrier Bash Plus. You can go in with something else. You can go in with another combo multiplier if you happen to have Typeless Combo, even not maxed out. I don't think it has a Typeless Combo Pokemon at level 1, a skill level 1. I don't think has the worst activation in the world. I think it's, I don't know what it is. It might be 60%. Even if it was 50%, that's not terrible. So you could do something like that, I guess. But, you know, of course, like the Block Shot and you know, the shot out with leaving the spot blank. I mean, all of those are obviously just going to destroy the stage. So you guys know that. So if you do happen to have one maxed out, even neutral, I would go that route on this one. But, you know, that goes without saying, right? I mean, I don't really have to say that. But yeah, it is cool to see us be able to beat like Ho-Oh with like some different types of Pokemon that we haven't used. I mean, I know Tapu Fini is really good, but it's really good when you use it with Typeless Combo. If you're not using Typeless Combo, like I'm using Barrier Bash Plus. Not the greatest in the world. Not really an endgame Pokemon, you know, if it doesn't have the Typeless Combo, right? So, yeah, so Not really a difficult stage, I guess. I guess that would be a fair statement to say, just because we are able to beat it. Yeah, not a whole lot of moves left either, but again, it doesn't have a whole lot of HP. Yeah, so, you know, take it as you will. I guess it could be tough depending on what you go in with. I mean, we actually did come close, so it could be more difficult than really discussing. So it all depends. But again, you could also skip these because they are going to be repeated. So once you get better Pokemon, you can come back to some of them as well. So yeah, we'll see. You can skill swap Ho-Oh to Pyre, which is actually a really good option. But we're going to move on to Emboar. Now, I actually farmed Emboar a while ago, a long time ago, actually, when it first got Risk Taker. So this stage actually is not really that tough. For some reason, I was thinking it was more difficult, but I think that's the Machamp that was more difficult for me back in the day than this one is. This one's really not that bad. Suicune, as before, has Block Smash plus. Tapu Fini, Barrier Bash plus plus. They're not doing anything because there's no barriers on the stage. I mean, there's rocks, so those are basically just they're there for no good reason. I mean, they're just there for attack power at this point, right? So Shiny Mega Gyarados. I mean, some of you might not have this one fully invested, but you could use a Gengar, which is basically just as good. Yes, this is technically super effective, so it's going to do more damage, but Mega Gengar would get the job done. So you could definitely go that route if you want to. Again, yeah, nothing else doing anything basically. Well, the Big Wave with Poliwrath, I guess, is helping out, but you don't need Big Wave. You could actually bring Pignite with you if you want, just so it could get combos when it disrupts with Pignite and whatnot. That's definitely a good way to go. Obviously, Shot Out. I say that every stage. I'm gonna stop recommending Shot Out and Block Shot and Rock Shot and all of those because you guys know those abilities are good, right? Hammer and Shriek. You guys know I've used them in so many videos before. You guys know that they will get the job done and they will be able to clean up the stage a lot better than like this team or whatnot. But you know, some of these earlier stages, the ones released prior to the shot abilities, those ones are definitely, sorry about that, guys. We had a little trouble. It depends on which one you're looking at, which one you're thinking about. But either way, yeah, Emboar, not terribly difficult. We're able to knock that out just fine. So that is good. That is good. And that is stage number 4 of these week's events. I remember these this week just fine when they originally repeated. So we're going to go ahead and move on to Amoonguss. Now, you should just catch it just for fun because it's Amoonguss, and why not? I mean, but the Pokemon itself is not good. It has a low attack power. Yes, it can take raise max levels to get to a decent attack power, but it has paralysis combo, which is not good. But I don't think the stage is bad. Again, using that Pyre Torchic. So if you have a better Pyre, obviously you would go with that instead of Torchic. I mean, that goes without saying. But, you know, going in with Incineroar, that was a recent escalation, I believe. So, maybe if you have it, you could bring it. If you don't have to bring it. I didn't activate, Super Tackle, which is its ability during this, attempt. But if you have it, you could definitely go ahead and bring it if it's one of your better fire types. We do have Charizard with Unity Power, but again, not activating Unity Power. It's just to have Charizard, because it is an early Pokemon in the expert stages. Not the one with Unity Power, but we're not using Unity Power, so yeah, like my Charizard will still have an advantage because it is maxed out in raise max levels if yours is not. So technically it's still stronger than what yours might be, but we actually did activate Super Tackle. My bad. I thought I didn't activate it. But yeah, we definitely didn't need to activate that, and really not a difficult stage. Shiny Mega Charizard, why? Not the greatest Mega, has a decent effect for like mid-game players or earlier players if you have an ability like that. It doesn't necessarily have to be Shiny Mega Charizard Y. It could be something else, but even one that's neutral probably could get the job done, I guess. But you know, a Tappa obviously is good. I mean, you guys know that. So we do go ahead and beat Amoonguss. We actually came close, so I guess we did need that Super Tackle to be able to beat it. I'm not too sure, but either way, it is possible. I wouldn't stress on this stage though, because it's not a difficult one. Not a difficult one at all. Able to beat Amoonguss just fine. Well, I mean, I guess it is relatively difficult if you're going on with an earlier team, but it's not good. That's what I meant to say when I said it wasn't difficult. I meant to say it's not good, so you're not going to use it. We're moving on. We're moving on to, this is Rowlet, right? We're moving on to Rowlet, going in with a fun ice team. Now, Alolan Ninetales are obviously maxed out endgame Pokemon, but we're not using Freeze Plus in this attempt. So we're basically activating like Mega Boost and things like that from Glaceon and Hitting Streak just to be able to knock it out. You guys know how easy Rowlet is. Rowlet is super easy. So yeah, we get to use some of the fun Pokemon like Mega Glalie. I really like Mega Glalie on this one. So you guys know how easy Rowlet is. You'll be able to handle it just fine. You'll be able to beat Rowlet. And Rowlet's a good Pokemon because it can be skill swapped to Unity Power, but it also has Rock Shot as its ability, which is also a good ability. So you could pick or choose, really, if you want to farm one. And considering it's an easy stage, you can go with whichever one you want. Rock Shot is probably the way to go, but yeah, whichever one you feel is better. Let me know which one you would farm for Rowlet. Would it be Rock Shot? Would it be Unity Power? I actually farmed Unity Power, but I think Rock Shot is probably the better way to go. Breloom can get Rock Shot though whenever that comes back in like several months. So yeah, but you don't need Unity Power because you have a Unity Power Pikachu if you want to go ahead and max that out. So we're moving on to the final stage, a special stage, a Raise Max Level Challenge stage. And going in with Mega Mawile, which is an early Mega. Mine is maxed out, so yours might not be. I'm not too sure. Also going in with Jirachi, which is another stage that's really not... I mean, Jirachi is another Pokemon that's really not super endgame. And I mean, it's an event, so... but it's been around for quite a while, so I went in with Jirachi, just using it for the Mega Boost Plus. Registeel, obviously not the greatest, but again, you could use it. It has Paralyze if you didn't skill swap it, and then using Alolan Dugtrio just because I've never used Alolan Dugtrio before. I never thought I would either, but it was pretty interesting. It was pretty fun to use. It's not a good Pokemon, Alolan Dugtrio, especially not maxed out. Now, if you did happen to max out Alolan Dugtrio, I know you didn't, but if you didn't manage to max it out, it would be a little bit better, I guess. But yeah, so definitely want to catch this one because it is easier in the special stage than it is in the expert stage. But even if you can't even handle it at this point in time, you'll be able to get better Pokemon as you move on into the game, and you'll be able to beat the expert stage of it. But the expert stage is a lot more difficult, of course, than this one. They always are in terms of special challenges. So yeah, it disrupts with Ice, Rocks, Xerneas. I guess you could try to bring Xerneas since it disrupts with it. That's probably a good way to go. Yeah, I thought Mawile handled the stage just fine. Or Mega Mawile, that is. But, yeah, so another stage, I don't see having a... Well, maybe. It all depends what team you have. You might not have the Mawile sped up or whatnot. So, you know, if you come close, maybe throw on that +5, and you should be able to handle this one. I mean, we came close, still able to beat it, but it was close. See, it disrupts with Xerneas. It's going to disrupt with... You're going to get more matches with Xerneas if you bring Xerneas along with you, so... But we're able to beat Xerneas the final stage in 2 moves left, so that's really nice. I'll definitely take that. Why not? But, yeah. Let's see. So, you can get Raise Max levels. We didn't. But, yeah, that's going to be it for this one, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.